we had a great day. July 13th was not only an important day for WPD hosting their open house, but it was a more important day for the community and the people of Clearview Township. It enabled us to pull together, unite, and tell WPD, the developer of this project, that they're not welcome here, that it's not a suitable location for their project, and that we should be heard as a community.
Sit down with the people most affected by moving this, the people at the airport that have to live with this every day, that have to fly in and out of this airport, and see, how do you feel about this decision to move this airport, this sets of turbines closer to your doorstep? Well, I'll tell you how they're reacting. We saw that today. Pilots flying over, pilots concerned about their safety in the future, pilots who are rooting for us, hoping we win this battle, because they don't want to have to struggle their way through a bunch of a forest of steel dinosaur turbines.
You now know that I'm John Wiggins. My wife Sylvia and I have had the enjoyment of a farmhouse on the 6th line, and about 4 in the afternoon we usually sit down and have a glass of wine and look out over this wonderful vista. There's usually either a cornfield growing or a wheat field growing, depending on the year, and nothing forever. If you take a look at the poster that's just up beside the door, that will give you an idea of what the change is all about. And if you think in your mind what 500 feet is, look at it as they churn around daily 24/7. That is what it is. As far as land value is concerned, I have only one question to ask. Would you buy that house? Well, I'm here to tell you, nobody wants it. They don't want to even see it.
As Chuck mentioned, and I think our illustration over here shows, and I know as a parent of pilots and an aerodrome owner, for those who don't know in the crowd, I've operated a strip, a grass strip off the farm for 15 years. It's registered with Transport Canada, and NAV Canada has the same status as Collingwood Airport. It has not been recognized. The first proposal, they put the turbines on the end of the runway, blocked it, it wouldn't even be usable. And when I went to them to talk about that, I was told it was a done deal. I don't know how they figured that out without me participating. So now they've even moved closer to the Collingwood Airport. So they don't only want to shut one, there's 3 registered aerodromes in Clearview Township. Edenvale, our strip, which is called Stayner, Ontario, Clearview Field, in the Canada Flight Supplement. It's in the worldwide database for any pilot that needs to use it. There's emergency fuel available. And Collingwood Airport. So they don't only want to impact one strip, they want to take out our regional airport as well.
Here sent me information, said here's a new plan. They moved a bunch of turbines closer. Well, they're too close. I did an analysis and I discovered that a number of the turbines will cause the flight procedures to have higher approach limits, or will have to be modified or changed. Now that's going to protect the safety airport, but there's less chance for airplanes to land, like an air ambulance, to land in bad weather.
I want to address for a second. One is on the legal side. You may know we have a very good legal team that is looking at this thing very, very carefully, and one heading that's being reviewed at this point is new project. It is their view and our view that this project that is here today has nothing to do with the project that was started a year and a half ago. It's on. This project, as you know, started on 1,000 acres to the south of 91 with 8 turbines. Today, only 2 turbines remain on those original 1,000 acres, and 6 new turbines are on new ownership with new people. The FIT contract that was given to these people was given on the basis of the lands that they owned at the time that they made their application. And they had no control or no interest whatsoever in the lands on which 6 of these turbines are. We intend, therefore, to apply to disqualify and cancel and find invalid the draft site plan that they've filed. In addition, to have this meeting determined to be a completely meaningless meeting other than a great gathering for all of us here today.
You've done an amazing job in organizing your neighbors and talking to each other and understanding the real concerns with industrial wind development as proposed by Ontario's Green Energy Act and WPD. You need to be congratulated for standing up and fighting this hard, because together we can win this fight. But it takes a lot. It takes a lot of community-based activism, because that's the difference between us and them. The wind industry is a small group of moneyed special interests and those who financially benefit, pitted against the tens of thousands of people from around this province who have organized local committees and have worked together with Wind Concerns Ontario to get as far as we have today. The wind industry doesn't believe in democracy because they know they could never fill a parking lot with this many people who would agree with what they're proposing to do here. We know industrial wind development at 550 meters is criminally close to homes. This is not something we can allow to continue in the province of Ontario. Marie's question was, inside they're claiming there's no impact on health studies. Are there any other, or no impact on property values? Are there any other studies that suggest differently? And yes, there are. There's a study done in Amaranth and Melanchthon of 600 home sales in that area. And they studied home sales within 5 kilometers of turbines and turbines outside of a 5-kilometer zone. And they found a 20 to 40% drop in property values within the 5-kilometer ring of a wind turbine, and on the outside of that, compared to the outside of that. The other thing they found is that homes within that window, the 5 kilometers, took, on average, it was on the market for 5 times longer than the homes outside. It takes longer to sell the home, and it ultimately sells for less. That's if you can sell the home, though. We have the real estate in protest. People can only leave when it becomes unbearable to live. That's how unconscionable this has become. Over 12 people have been bought out by the wind industry and forced to sign gag clauses to get out of their homes when they become toxic for them to live in. That's not something we can allow to have happen in Clearview. That's not something we can allow to have happen anywhere in Ontario. And it's something we've got to fix where the damage is already being done. Thanks.
Let's do a wrap. Yeah.
Thank you. So I was really excited by the number of people that turned out to our rally in the afternoon. It was very well done. We had no problems. We were assisted by the OPP. It went smoothly, safely. It was effective. We managed to close down Highway 91 for over an hour and a half. I think we got the message across to a lot more people than motorists about what's going on out here. And we had a great meeting at the open house at WPD, where it was very effective to communicate our concerns as a community to all the residents of Clearview Township. We hope that this is just the beginning of getting the word out.